I remember gasping when I read this episode for the first time. My wife thought I like stubbed a toe or something because I was like, no, what? Hi, I'm Adam DeVine, and I play Kelvin Gemstone.
Hi, I'm Edi Patterson. I play Judy Gemstone.
I'm Cory DeMeyers. I'm the stunt coordinator for the Righteous Gemstones.
And this is Variety's Making a Scene.
I think he just grazed me. No, dog. That's a solid hit.
We did that scene in front of an altar, and those guys who own that mansion out there had that altar shipped in from somewhere, I think in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were scouting the house, that was sort of the sign from above that like, oh my God, we found, this is the place.
It had to be that place. It was like
it had
kismet.
to be.
Danny and the production staff couldn't find a lake house that looked right, that didn't feel like we were just shooting in Charleston. It like needed to look like a lake.
We needed it to be like mind-blowing though, to where you go, oh wow, that is even crazier than Judy's house, Kelvin's house, or Jesse's house.
And it's just like the lake house that they never go to.
Yeah.
And it almost needs to be so big that the audience sort of understands why Cory would want to murder the Gemstones.
Oh yeah.
He's like, fuck these guys in a big ass house. And not only was the house big and beautiful, there was all these churchy artifacts inside of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was so serendipitous. When it came together, I mean, it had gotten scary. Like, I think that Danny was wanting to then maybe delay shooting because it just had become such an integral character. It had to feel a certain way. It needed to land on the audience like, my God.
And there was a point that we were supposed to shoot it way earlier in the season, and it kept getting punted to the end because they needed time. But then they found it.
The Gemstones lake house was so expansive that we actually had to shoot 3 different locations during the gunfight or the shootout in the finale. We were up at Lake Murray in South Carolina at a beautiful property on the lake. We shot most of it there, but we did cheat a few locations to make the house even bigger during the gunfight.
Well, actually, you know what I will tell you, which is locations. We were not allowed to get blood on certain things of the house. That was interesting. Like, we would have to like put the blood on the clothes, but they'd have to be close to the rugs and things like that. So 1,000% yes, we had racks of clothing on set. Like, okay, we're doing this, we're moving it this way. And then you have to match it, you know, because you'll shoot it one day and then we'll shoot it, you know, 2-3 weeks later, and you have to match the blood continuity. And that is a hell of a job.
Dr. Watson.
The scariest part was when Dr. Watson came up, and because he's like a wild animal. I mean, I know he's trained, but that boy's wild. And every once in a while, he would just like get up and like get in your hair and just be like, decide to like, and like play with your shit. And it was truly terrifying. And Danny, I've never really seen him scared before.
That was wild.
It was so funny because he was legit terrified of Dr. Watson. It was so fun.
When the monkey would like lock eyes with you and come even just a little closer, there's something primal in your brain that goes, am I okay? Are we all okay?
Yeah. And you weren't.
Also, it was so cute. So all you want to do is like pick it up or have it stand on your shoulder or whatever. And there were so many strict rules about that the trainers need to be the only ones that are like a person dealing with the monkey.
The trainers were great.
But I think because we were laying down.
And our heads were the closest thing, and he was just coming right here. This interview is mostly about the monkey, right?
He killed Judy, didn't he? Probably so. Fuck that noise.
It was hard to be funny and be able to say our lines, but also you are bleeding to death. So playing that at the same time.
We gotta move.
The hardest part for me, though, of that scene was the dress that I had on. It was made of something insane, like not of this earth. But the sequins would like literally go on their side and like cut in as I was going. And I had decided that because I'm shot like sort of up here in the chest, that a human person would be trying to like hold that bullet wound.
Yeah.
And so from the jump, I had established that I could only drag with one arm.
The Celia B dress that Judy wears, like, you know, we have to think about what can she wear that she can drag herself and crawl all over the floor. I mean, it's so much easier with menswear, you know, they're wearing jeans and stuff like that. But with Judy, like, what could she wear that she's not gonna like, a boob's not gonna pop out from a bathing suit top or something like that. So it's like we put her in that dress, but it has like a really high slit, so she can kind of crawl all over the ground and it can show blood because you also have to do that. It's just, there's so many like moving parts to doing that crazy stunt scene.
I look crazy when I get shot because that dress was made of such a crazy thing. The squib did not escape the fabric, and so it exploded onto me.
Yeah, she had a very gnarly
that
wound. I wouldn't even call it a bruise. It was a wound.
Yeah, it was like a burn bruise, like a blood blister almost.
Hey, one of you guys go upstairs. My gun is in my stuff.
We ain't doing no steps, homie. We leaking.
Well, we're pretty method, so we cut ourselves. No, it was fake. It was fake blood, and they put some of that in post. Like we did a lot of it practically, but some of it watching. It was like watching the episode, the scene. You see it like bubbling out, and we didn't have.
Yeah,
we didn't have like tubes coming up and spitting out. It was done in post.
Yeah, it looked so good coming out of Sean's
it did
head.
great.
Don't you worry, Jesse. I got something extra special for you. I'll be right back.
Sean William Scott was so good in that scene and in the show in general, but that scene in particular, the way he turned on a dime and went from like, oh, fun, kind of weird friend of ours to like being an absolute psychopath. And he's a great guy. So for him to play that psychopath so convincingly scared the shit out of me.
When we were laying there and doing the scene where he walks in the door and then Danny shoots him in the head, yeah, that felt really tense and scary when we were doing it.
All of our actors were very involved in the sequence. So what we did do was use our actors throughout the entire process. Sans one piece with Sean William Scott getting shot and falling down. Toward the end of the sequence, we used a stunt double for a few of those takes. But Sean's one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met. He was always dialed in, very cautious, thinking about safety, and really thinking about everybody else in the scene. He was always so concerned about the action and how it was going to affect the person in the scene and wanted to take care of everyone.
Cory's costume, which was, I don't know if I can say this, but like a reference to, I mean, I'm sure you can tell from the outfit, it's kind of a reference to Michael Jackson. You know, we ultimately made 6 of those because of all the stunts and all. And honestly, I think we only used 1 because it's red. So it's like, you know, and then it was a headshot. And we're like, wait a minute, are we doing a headshot? Do we need all these multiples? But ultimately we made 6 and we only used 1.
This scene was very difficult to shoot because there was a hurricane that came through while we were shooting this lake house scene. And we thought like we weren't going to be able to get it. And there was a time that we didn't have power in the house. So they're like, just come, we're going to shoot. We might not have power. And so they were like running generators. They had lights inside, but then the rest of the house was pitch black. And then it was the grace of God.
Seriously.
Yeah, all of a sudden the lights came back on and everyone was like, oh!
And then we had like 4 hours to do like some major stuff. And thank God it just got pulled off. But yeah, when Adam says there was no power there was no power anywhere.
We all fall off the path, dear Lord. That is who we are. We are imperfect beings trying to become something more.
Not shooting the finale, but watching the finale about a week ago, that's when it really hit me that the show was over.
Yeah.
It was pretty damn emotional, and the 3 of us, and we're being very heartfelt in the scene, and we really only had a couple takes to get it because we were running out of time. I felt like it added to the pressure and added to the emotions of it because we did only have a couple takes to do it, and when we nailed it, it was like, Danny was so like proud of all of us. We were all getting a little real misty-eyed, even though our characters were getting misty-eyed in the scene. It helped. For sure.
It definitely did hit different, that scene did, with the hurricane and the fact that it was the three of us. A special little magic would happen sometimes with the three of us, and it was definitely in the room that day, for sure.
Saying goodbye is tough. It's sad, it's sad because I don't know if I'll ever have a project like this again, but I feel very fortunate, and I think it was a family,
Saying goodbye to the Righteous Gemstones isn't easy, I mean, we have so much fun on set. The material is hilarious, so I'm gonna miss that atmosphere. They create such a great atmosphere for all of their co-workers.
Our very, very last scene that we shot was a church lunch, which was so cool because it was all of us there. That one was like a dam broke.
Oh yeah,
we were all
real
beside
misty,
ourselves. Yeah,
misty-eyed. When Danny was starting to get a little choked up, that's when I was like, don't do it. It's like seeing your dad cry. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not right. Stop it. Ah. I love this show. I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, me too, big time.
And to comfort us.
Make it about me, Jesse.
Come on, Jesse, don't make it generic. Make it about Cory. Damn.
I was. Just let me get to it.
I have no idea when or what, but I wouldn't be surprised if at some point these characters show up again. I think they're still living on, in a metaverse. I think they're still living their gemstone lives.
It would be cool to come back to these characters, but in 15 years or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
And do a Christmas movie, or Danny's even talked about possibly a live show at some point. I think that would be a blast if we did a little mini tour and did a gemstone church service with music and
that would be so
sermons
fun.
And I think
I want it to
we would
feel
have a blast.
like the Universal theme park Waterworld experience. Well, we're all on jet skis for some reason in a pool. Yeah.
Well, let's just have a giant baptism.
I love
Then we
this.
can get some water going.
This is great.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.